Hey everyone, I'm Steve from GamersNexus.net, and today we're talking about AMD's latest update, which is Radeon Software. So this update's pretty major. It retires the Catalyst Control Center, which is AMD's long-standing, more than 10-year software suite for its AMD Radeon GPUs, and this actually was created under ATI before the AMD acquisition. So that is no more. Catalyst will go away, and the new software suite is called Radeon Software. And just to clear things away straight off the bat, the software comes under a few different names. So you'll see this referred to as different things by different media outlets today. And the actual software is just called Radeon Software. You'll also see it called Crimson Edition, and this is the major iteration for the current version of Radeon Software. They are not different things. So Radeon Software comes in Crimson Edition for this year. It might have a different iteration next year. AMD hopes to do major iterations annually, and those will all be labeled as different shades of red. So you have Crimson this year. Finally, for the software, there's the year.month identifier. So if it's released in 2015 November, it would be Radeon Software Crimson Edition 15.11, which is actually pretty clear once you understand the naming structure of it all. That said, it is also important to clear off straight away that this is not a driver update. So this is strictly a software side update by AMD, and there will not be driver performance improvements with this software package. There might be driver performance improvements for other reasons, like new drivers, but it's not just from updating to this software. So this is coming out soon. It's not out just yet. It should be out within a few weeks, we're told, but definitely within Q4 of 2015 is the official statement from AMD. And the major improvements for the software are an updated UI towards a minimalist design. AMD has completely overhauled their long-standing Catalyst UI so that it is more of a modern look and fits sort of the Windows user interface design that's been a trend lately. The software boots in about 0.6 seconds from what we're told, and that's compared against the 8-second boot time of Catalyst Control Center, so quite a big speed increase. Radeon Software also now adds per-game profiling of overclocks, which actually I think is the coolest thing added to the software, and I hope that other companies will follow suit, like NVIDIA with its GeForce Experience. So the cool thing with the overclocking software is that overdrive already exists. It's not really that powerful. I actually much prefer Afterburner to overdrive. But with overdrive, AMD is now allowing per game overclocks. So if you want to just overclock your GPU for GTA 5, because GTA 5 stresses the GPU more than Dota or League of Legends, then you can do that. And the use case advantage to this overclocking solution is you're not stressing the GPU 100% of the time when it doesn't need to be. So overclocks, as many of you know, can be detrimental to the silicon's health and will degrade its longevity over time. So you want to be as easy on the overclocks as possible. But if an overclock is necessary to improve game performance to the point that it pushes you to 60 FPS or 120 FPS or what have you, then you can apply it just to that game. And this is a pretty cool feature. The next big change is one-click Eyefinity configuration. So Eyefinity's been a bit of a mess through the AMD Catalyst Control Center, but with Radeon Software, the company has made it so you can click once, it'll automatically detect, sort, find, and arrange all of your monitors connected to your multi-monitor AMD GPU system, and that's it. You're pretty much done. There's, of course, custom tuning, as always, if you wanted to do tuning of your own, but it should be more intelligent with sorting the multi-monitor Eyefinity solutions. Now the big thing with Radeon Software is that it is a statement from AMD. AMD is saying, and actually said directly in our call with them, that they're taking software seriously now, or extremely seriously to use their words. And this is in response to reviews and complaints online where their GPUs have actually had not bad architecture. Like Fiji is pretty impressive architecture, as we stated in our review, but it seriously underperformed. The price was not right on the Fury X, and it was just a software issue overall and a drivers issue. Of course, the architecture is limited in some ways, but it is actually impressive overall, so it should be able to compete. AMD wants to update its software so that it is in competition directly with NVIDIA's huge GeForce Experience push, And it also, of course, is taking drivers more seriously going forward. But again, this is not a driver update. This is strictly a software update. So that said, Radeon Software will allow one-click driver downloads and installation through the software suite. And as sort of a subtle slam to NVIDIA's recent update to GFE, Radeon Software does not require email registration or account creation in order to download these drivers. AMD also said very explicitly that it will still allow standalone driver downloads through the AMD website. So if you don't want Radeon Software at all, you want it completely off your system, you can still get the latest downloads and drivers through the site without Radeon Software. Raptor Gaming Evolved is still here to stay. This is not a departure of the Raptor Gaming Evolved application. And I'll be upfront here, I don't like Gaming Evolved. I don't like the Raptor application because it feels bloated, it's a little slow to boot, and it's just kind of unnecessary for the way I use a computer. It doesn't mean it's bad, it just means I don't like it. So with that stated, with that plainly put out there, the Raptor software is still here. It will plug in directly to the Radeon software for game-specific settings tweaking, which is something that this Raptor solution already does. So if you want to set up per game settings and control it all through a single software suite, you can still do that. You can do that now through Radeon Software when it's released, and that will be tied in with Raptor Gaming Evolved. So if you opt out of Gaming Evolved, you lose this functionality, but you still have the functionality to do global profiles. If you want to globally disable VSync or something like that, you can do that through the Radeon Software suite. Now, again, I personally just go into each game settings when I first launch it because I find that fun. It's a fun part of the game to me, and I set up the settings there. So that's how I use it. I'm sure a lot of people don't really like that aspect of gaming and would rather just launch it and go, and in that case then the global profiles are worth using. Overall, this is a major step in the right direction for AMD, and actually it's a series and a number of steps in the right direction. Fiji, as I said, was an impressive architecture, but it just wasn't good enough. And unfortunately for AMD, being not quite good enough is a major problem for them right now because that's a consistent problem and the company is in financial jeopardy. So there's a very serious reason for them to get moving and take software and drivers seriously because most of the reviews have complained about drivers as the main holdup for a purchase of an AMD GPU. As AMD continues in this direction, I hope that the GPUs and the drivers will become more stable, and there's already a pretty strong price argument for a lot of the GPUs, like the 380, the 390. They are competitively priced, but the biggest reason that I would sometimes feel uncomfortable recommending them for certain games is the stability and is the ease of use of software. Both of these things are being addressed by AMD. The drivers and the stability have been actively addressed for the last few months following a 180-day hiatus from WCL driver updates. And speaking to that note, AMD promised on the call that they're hoping to deliver somewhere around 6 WCL driver updates per year. So that's, again, an improvement over the last year or so, and they're hoping to do a couple major software iterations going forward. So hopefully this is all stuff that the company can actually deliver on. The software is not yet available. We don't even have a press version of it, so I'll be sure to update everyone as soon as we have it in hand. But you can check the article linked in the description below for the screenshots, for more information, for all that stuff. If you like this type of reporting, as always, check that Patreon link in the post-roll video. Helps us out a lot, and thanks for watching. Share the content as always if you think your friends would get some use out of it, and I'll see you all next time.